Thanks for staying with us. A lack of contract management and deliberate ignorance of procurement laws have been blamed for 872 million rand in irregular expenditure at the Emfuleni municipality. The mayor, Jacob Gowes, admitted contracts were sometimes renewed without due process being followed. He held a media briefing earlier, and ENCA's Govan Whittles was there, and he joins us now for the very latest. Govan, thank you so much for joining us. I was keeping track of your tweets coming out of that briefing, and you can't help but look at the numbers that make up this over 800 million rand, and your jaw just drops at the amount that was wasted completely and utterly through the lack of contract management system or deliberate ignorance of the laws. It's really astounding.
Yes, it is, Marcel. And it's important to point out that the 872 million rand, which was either spent without authorization or was spent irregularly or on wasteful expenditure, happened over a period of 4 years. And essentially what we've had today is the Mayor, Jacob Gowes, coming out and presenting what he titled the Operation Intentional Housekeeping. So this report sets out exactly how many contracts were signed unprocedurally, how many of those contracts were extended without due process being followed, that of course being taking the contract back to the council so that it could have a resolution and be adopted once more, and then of course how many contracts that they entered into which was not in the best interest of the municipality. So a lot of detail, as you said, a lot of staggering figures coming out of that media briefing, but more importantly a startling admission and acknowledgement from Jacob Gowes about how the money was wasted there. Let's take a listen to that.
We've established this unauthorized irregular expenditure of 872 million rands over a period. So as part of the program to clean our municipality, we thought the first thing we must do is to open up and acknowledge that we at this stage acknowledge that we've wasted about 872 million rands of the people of Emfuleni. And it is with embarrassment and shame that I, as a mayor, with the collective of the mayoral committee, making this acknowledgement. And if you have proper mechanisms of oversight, proper leadership, proper qualified CFO, qualified managers, we shouldn't be where we are. And what is our commitment to the people of Emfuleni? Is that one, we are in a process of appointing a CFO. And we've made a commitment that we would appoint a qualified CFO, somebody who knows what to do, but equally we will have a decisive leadership.
Govan, I want us to spend just a little bit of time giving people an idea of those amounts of money and how it went down the toilet, as it were. Specifically in Emfuleni, we know an ongoing issue there is around services to do with hygiene and the rubbish collection, which hasn't happened for a very, very long time. And that was brought up in this briefing, in the matter involving the car fleet company that owned and rented out, as it were, the garbage trucks to that municipality. Tell us about that example specifically.
Yes, Marcel. So the agreement or the contract with the fleet company that rented out the garbage trucks is a classic example of how the contracts were extended without due process. According to the Mayor, Jacob Gowes, what the municipality had been experiencing over the last 4 years is the contract with the fleet company coming to its end date. And as it approached that end date, the fleet company saying to the municipality that they would withdraw their vehicles from use in the municipality, and based on that threat, the contract would then be extended unprocedurally. The difference is this time with Mayor Jacob Gowes in charge, when they made that threat, he told them that's fine, withdraw your vehicles and we'll renegotiate a different contract which would obviously have better value for money. The one complaint that the mayor had was that when these contracts were being extended in the manner as they were with regards to the refuse removal contract, they would often end up overpaying. And of course, as you said, these are not just amounts which are mentioned as up in the air. These are actual things that have a practical impact on service delivery in Emfuleni. You mentioned the refuse removal, but some of the other things that are happening in the area also include electricity supply, water supply, and we know that the Emfuleni municipality's bill with Eskom and with Rand Water is up to R1 billion, and they've had to enter into payment agreements to try and service those bills. And some of that is also due to contracts which they believe did not work for them. Example would be the debt collection contract, which led to a private company being employed to collect debt that's owed to the municipality that's older than 90 days old. In that case, the contract was cancelled in September. An investigation was done by the municipality, and they've established that the debt collections company actually owes them 42 million rand. So that's another example of how the extension of these contracts and the mismanagement of the renegotiation of these contracts led to the municipality losing money but also incurring further debt. Just as an overall statistic, the mayor did say that currently the operational budget of the municipality is around 682 million rand. That means they're spending 682 million rand more than they have. That's the operational deficit. But the reason he mentioned this figure is because it's actually down by over 200 million rand from 909 million rand last year. So you could see the difference in how much things have improved in Emfuleni, but the municipality is still certainly in a precarious position. That precarious position, of course, has led to the Mayor, Jacob Kawe, approaching different national spheres of government. He also mentioned that he had a meeting with the President while he was in his capacity as ANC Gauteng Secretary to discuss exactly how they could intervene. But they seem to have sorted out a plan as to how they would intervene, repairing some of the pumping stations which are operating at 110% when they were only designed to operate at 95%, and thus causing these issues with water supply. But let's have a look at what he said about the intervention which is due to come into the municipality shortly.
We wish to inform the people of Emfuleni that we said in September we are going to engage national government and provincial government to support us. The Minister of Finance did announce the intervention in Emfuleni. And we're proud to report that the President of the Republic yesterday confirmed this intervention. Even though I met him on another capacity, but I don't miss the opportunity to raise about issues about Emfuleni. So on the other capacity, we're discussing it also with the President. But as a mayor, the President reaffirmed the commitment of national government. That one, national government is going to help us to resolve 8 pump stations that are a challenge in the valley through the Department of Water and Sanitation.
That's Mayor Jacob Kawe addressing media a short while ago on the issue around Emfuleni and the interventions, as our reporter Govan Whittles said, they will be putting in place, hopefully, to try and bring that area back to where it should be. Govan, we thank you so much for your time. We look forward to the more details that you'll be unpacking around this very important story. Govan Whittles there reporting for us live from our headquarters.